I'm Blind and welcome to my kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how I make slow cooker spaghetti and meatballs. So first we're going to talk about the ingredients. So we have meatballs, tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, and an assortment of spices. Now you might be wondering, how do I figure out which can is which? So in this situation, the tomato sauce has no tab on the top and is larger, whereas the diced tomatoes has a little pull tab on the top and it's a little smaller. This is one little thing that I use to know exactly what cans I have in my kitchen. When it comes to the spices, there's a few different things that I use. So this one here has large enough print that I can tell that it's red pepper flakes. Another thing that I will do is open it, hold on, there we go, and okay, yeah, it's red pepper flakes. And other times, honestly, I may not even know what the spice is, but if it smells good for the meal, I just wing it. So when it comes to the slow cooker itself, you can have low, high, or keep warm. Now, I can't see what this is set to. Now, normally I would use my phone, which we're using to record, in order to see where the light is and see where the things are. So in this situation, I'm going to get my sighted friend, or my sightling, to offer me her eyes to tell me whether it's on low or high. So now that I've talked to my sightling, I know that it's on low. So this here is the select button. These are up and down arrows, and this is the off button. So once everything's in, I can actually use these arrows in order to set the timer on my slow cooker. So my sightling was able to tell me this. I call you my sightling, sorry. My sightling was able to tell me this, but if I didn't have somebody here with me, what I'd do is take a picture or zoom in on my phone and be able to see where the buttons were and know exactly what to press. So without any further ado, let's get started. First off, can opener. So this is one of the top things, which is great because when you're blind, it's a matter of feel, because you can feel when the teeth are touching onto the can, and then you can feel it when the tension pulls it off. All right, and now we're going to pour it into here. Now, this is my first time using a slow cooker liner, so I hope I'm doing it right. Anyways, come on. And in order to get all of it, I do fill a little bit with water. Ta-da! I'm going to put in the rest of the big ingredients, and I'll be back when the spices are ready. So as you noticed, or maybe you did, when I'm going to pour stuff into my slow cooker, I put my hand on the side of the pot so I have a guide as to where I'm pouring it in. Okay, now that everything's in, well, the big stuff, it's time to stir. Now this is difficult. I usually make a mess, and you know what? That's okay. So, stir, stir, stir. We might need some more liquid in here. Yes, I sing when I cook. It's part of life. So now let's talk spices. I have a big thing of garlic because I love garlic, but I don't really measure. I just kind of guesstimate. Okay, so now that the garlic is in, we're going to start with some red pepper flakes. Now, I take a few pinches because, I like my heat. And now we're going to go with oregano, and once again, I just take a couple pinches of it. I don't really measure when I do this stuff. Onion powder, so I'm actually allergic to onions, so onion powder is the only way that I can enjoy this kind of flavor, which, hey, onions are amazing. And then, of course, we're going to add a little bit of pepper in here. I love pepper because it just gives that little bit of extra flavor. And now that everything's in, I'm going to start to stir it in a little bit here. Just going to make sure I have enough in the pot. I always give a little smell as I'm going. And now we're going to start to stir. So what I noticed when stirring is the liner started to go backwards, and so I had to hold on to it. Okay, so now that's all stirred up. I'm going to keep it on low, and we're going to put it on for 4 hours, because all we really need is for the meatballs to cook. And we'll come back when it comes time to make this pasta. Now it's time to make the noodles. So what I'm going to do is fill up the pot. And what I do is I put my finger in about 2 inches down. And when the water touches my finger, I know that it's high enough so that I can make the noodles. So when it comes to turning the elements on, I know which one of these knobs is for the right element. So when I turn it clockwise, it'll click into maximum. I also know that this part of the knob is actually pointing at about 130. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to boiling, and I do it by the sound that it makes. A bubbling pot will actually make a certain sound. I can't really see the steam. I know it's there, but it's hard to see. So when we measure, I'm going to do 4 cups of dry noodles, and I'm going to use this bad boy, my Braille measuring cups. He has his 1C right there. Cool, hey? So, let's start with this bag of noodles. We're going to do macaroni noodles because spaghetti noodles are hard for me to cook or to eat with. I don't really need to measure them, but for fun. Woo! Nope, not quite. Told you I'd make a mess. And now that we have 1 cup, we're going to pour it directly into the pot. I'm going to get the other 3 cups in here, and then we're going to set it for 10 minutes before we drain it. So the noodles have now cooked all the way, and we are ready to we are ready to drain them over here. So basically what I do is I put my hands on either side of my sink. I have my strainer set up, so all I have to do is tip. Oh, shoot. So one of the things I noticed when draining my noodles is I don't think I put enough water in the pot. And you know what? We all make mistakes. So, time to improvise. What I'm going to do is we have an hour and a half left on the slow cooker. So the noodles that didn't cook all the way, I'm going to toss in with the meatballs and the sauce and see what happens with that. If it works, great. If not, oh well. So guys, here's our finished product. We had a little bit tonight. It turned out great. And yeah, I was able to portion a bunch into containers such as this. Some are in the fridge, some are in the freezer. Some will be eaten this week, some will be eaten at a later date. But yeah, it was a really great experience cooking. And yeah, this is one of the things I do for meal prep. I really appreciate you joining me today. And I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you want to follow me anywhere else, I'm Empathic Sight. I am here on TikTok, TikTok. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So come join me.